Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first off, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit in today's video about what has happened in the last couple months, but also I want to talk to you guys about a few select names around the overall crypto market that have been moving very fast in regards to DLT powered services. And these are some large use cases, and the value behind them is astronomical. So first off, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this announcement going back to July. We're going to actually be talking about a few announcements that happened in the last couple months around Ripple, and this is talking about the MENA region leapfrogging towards digital currency future. Now, I'm pretty sure we talked about this a little bit during July, but we didn't really go in depth on it at all. They're actually talking about CBDCs here. They're also talking about, payment solutions, things like that, mainly centered around digital assets and really kind of talking about the planning behind this. They're talking also about regional adoption. They're also talking about the SWIFT system down here. For an example, what sets this apart from other global CBDC research projects is that it is the first dual-issued CBDC implemented on a blockchain, enabling fast, low-cost, efficient payment rails superior to the current SWIFT platform utilized between the two countries. Now, why do I bring up SWIFT? Why do I, talk about this a little bit? Well, we're actually going to be talking about SWIFT in this video. And the other major name is going to be a name that I'm sure that a lot of you are also aware of, and they're transacting quadrillions of dollars. We're going to be talking about them as well. Now, the value proposition here for Ripple is them becoming the major name around payments. Now, it's not going to take years on top of years to achieve this, but I do think that's going to take a little bit more time. We are getting there with every single major innovation happening day in and day out about, first off, we'll say cross-border payments, but also digitized payments globally. Ripple has been the leading name. For example, this goes back to July 21st of this year. And then also July 29th of this year, we did see Singapore's FOMO turns to Ripple for crypto-enabled treasury management, which I'm sure that a lot of you were aware of this major announcement as well. And yes, they utilize on-demand liquidity, which is sourced of, XRP. But a lot of this is major. I mean, this is huge. For example, we do see down here, prior to partnering with Ripple, FOMO treasury managers had to wait 1 to 2 days. And I know that this doesn't seem like a lot, but it is actually pretty substantial when you think about things, especially around this market. And first off, we do see a few other things down here. We recognize that this is, or that we're operating in a great ecosystem of innovators in the region. Today, we announced our partnership with FOMO and their use of on-demand liquidity solution for treasury management. And this was just another major use case of course, XRP, which was tallied up on the board. Now, again, all of this needs to be centered on one thing. And what is that major centered thing? Well, it is traditional payment rails. We are innovating further beyond the means of these major, payment rails. And this is also why I say pay attention to on-demand liquidity, as it does expand rapidly globally. For an example, going back to May 18th of this year, on-demand liquidity brought to Lithuania provider Finci. All of these announcements all stay in the same exact lane of, okay, we are focused on one, these major issues within the current traditional system, and how can we innovate further beyond them. And it is all centered around on-demand liquidity utilizing XRP. As you do see up there as well, they do talk about it, to enable frictionless cross-border payments at a fraction of the cost and at a faster rate than traditional payment rails. Again, another quote talking about traditional payment rails. All of these are focused on the leapfrogging of the traditional payment rails, or the traditional payment systems. And you even do see up here, payment rails outside of the traditional financial systems. Every single one of these are talking about this. Not only that, but also if you look at the reports that Ripple has put out, 70% of European financial institutions surveyed believe that blockchain will have a significant impact on their business in the next 5 years. And 59% of those respondents are already interested in using the technology for payments. This, to me, is a little bit of an insight on our future. Also, pay attention to the trapped capital due to pre-funding, which accounts for $10 trillion globally, is really just a neglected capital. And I think that $10 trillion is actually a lot more. We've talked about how it is possibly $27 trillion. I don't think that really anyone knows how much money is actually in those, trapped capital accounts. At the end of the day, but we could argue that's 10 to 27 trillion dollars, which is still a massive amount of money, especially if you are talking about on-demand liquidity basically being the key that unlocks those accounts. But yeah, I mean, like this is very exciting. I think that on-demand liquidity in regards to Europe is going to be deployed rapidly, and we even do see down here like we're delighted that FinCEN is our latest on-demand liquidity deployment in Europe, and are looking forward to soon announcing additional European partners who are partnering for a crypto-enabled or preparing for a crypto-enabled future. And I do think that they are. In fact, we actually did see over here from Ripple going back to June of this year, an accelerated shift to instant payments across Europe. And again, this was one of many major announcements, and we actually do see the European Union and the United Kingdom as well, which the UK has been for the longest time ready on crypto. They are moving pretty quickly within that area, which we just made a video on actually. And we see down here in the UK, the Bank of England is renewing the real-time gross settlement service to deliver a range of new features and capabilities for payments and settlements between financial institutions. And in fact, we actually do see here using ISO 20022 messaging to enable more participants to utilize the UK payments infrastructure and continue to interoperate or to be interoperable with payment services across the globe. So when we actually look at this, so first off, they are going to be moving over to ISO 20022. Now, does this mean a big deal for XRP? You could argue that it does. You could argue that it doesn't as well. But to me, what this actually does is open the door for XRP to actually be utilized as a settlement mechanism, which would unlock massive amounts of efficiencies. We also do see interoperability being touted there, which when we do talk about, the UK, Quant is a major partner of them. They are actually listed on their government website as being a massive interoperability network bridge. This is going to be very exciting, and we actually do see down here the ECB has long desired to make instant payments available to all EU PSPs. This would be massive, especially when you look at how much money is tied up in a lot of this. It is well worth, trillions to possibly hundreds of trillions. For example, we do see down here, in the UK, the faster payment system enables payments to move quickly and securely to and between UK bank accounts 24 hours a day. In 2021 alone, FPS processed 3.4 billion payments, an increase of 20% from 2020, with a value of 2.6 trillion pounds, an increase of 24% from 2020. The system is also growing rapidly in terms of participating financial institutions. 40 banks, PSPs, and fintechs have joined FPS to date. So, when we look at this, here's the major focus here: expanding crypto forward solutions like Ripple's crypto payment solutions, which frees up working capital by eliminating the need for pre-funding and removes the need for complex clearing mechanisms in the background, can open new doors to make instant payments available to more PSPs. Embracing this crypto strategy would further enable instant payments across Europe regardless of currency symmetry or capital resources. And yeah, I will argue that right now when we actually look at things, we are going to be seeing a major streamlined process around crypto, adoption, specifically on, payment rails like the XRP Ledger or possibly even something like RippleNet, powered by essentially XRP with on-demand liquidity. I think that that's going to be very exciting. And we actually do see, the Digital Pound Foundation and the Digital Euro Association also mentioned twice here, which is also very exciting. I would argue that instant payments will be a successful thing moving forward within the next 3 to 5 years. And also over here, the APAC leading the way in instant payments as well. All of this is focused on some major opportunities. 20% of approximately 250 digital banks worldwide based in the APAC region are already growing to dominate the digital banking sector, which is very exciting. And yeah, they also do mention that crypto-assisted remittances and digitally payment options as well, which accounted for a major jump, a 58% increase in instant payments in 2021, which is huge. And I think everyone should care about this. This is all focused on on-demand liquidity. This is all focused on XRP, and it is all to disrupt the current traditional payment rails. Now, why do I bring all this up? Well, today is a huge day. The clearinghouse, warning shots fired. This is going back to the 26th. Shout out to 741 Trey on Twitter. But we do here periodically, it is necessary for clients of the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation and its affiliates, collectively DTCC, to confirm holdings for regulatory compliance or other reasons. We do see a few things here, but beginning on the 29th, today, the DTCC will implement an enhancement to this service by introducing a more streamlined, digitized workflow This is very interesting, as you do see a lot of it is focused on settlement. Most of it is focused on settlement, actually. And I think that this is very interesting simply because of what we are actually seeing behind the scenes with the DTCC. What are we talking about? Let's actually go and check out the DTCC on face value. First off, over 45 years, the DTCC has played a pivotal role in protecting and supporting the growth of global financial markets, tackling the industry's biggest operational challenges collaboratively while processing millions of securities transactions every single day. Down here, we actually do see a little bit of a face value on it. 4+ decades, 23 locations, 6,300 client firms located in 70 countries. Pretty big. And we do see down here, we stand at the center of financial markets, and you actually do see a few things here. Driving down cost. Creating efficiencies. Advancing cutting-edge technology. Mitigating risk. And collaborating to solve industry-wide challenges. Okay. All of this plays a big role in cross-border payments, settlements, everything. Why would they not adopt crypto? Well, it's funny, right? Because when we actually are talking about this, first off, let's go over to this. Building industry's first prototype to support digital U.S. currency in the clearing and settlement process as part of the digital dollar project effort, going back to April 12th. This is pretty big. This is all centered on DLT, by the way. And we actually do see down here, Project Lithium, a prototype, will test the ability of U.S. market infrastructure to support a Fed-issued central bank digital currency using a DLT platform. Remember what I told you guys. DLT will play a pivotal role here. With this prototype, the DTCC, in partnership with the Digital Dollar Project, which is the DDP, which are also working with Ripple and also even Hedera, aims to demonstrate the direct bilateral settlement of cash tokens between participants in real-time delivery versus payment (DVP) settlement. The pilot will also identify how it can leverage DTCC's robust clearing and settlement capabilities to fully realize the potential benefits of a CBDC, including. Here's where things get very interesting, by the way. Reduce counterparty risk and trapped liquidity. Increase capital efficiency, a more efficient automated workflow, the guarantee that cash and securities are delivered, added transparency to regulators. First off, we talked about cross-border payments in the past around Ripple with XRP. The biggest ones that they did mention was obviously trapped liquidity and risk, as well as efficiency around capital, and also the entire process is fully automated, so workflows will be automated. But also, when we look at this, right, you look at the big thing, transparency. Transparency is a big thing on the XRP ledger, and even using cross-border payments with XRP, with RippleNet, transparency is key. It's seriously a major focus point. But all of this is centered on settlement. It's all focused on settlement. And it's all focused on DLT. We actually do see a nice little quote here. The DTCC has for several years been experimenting, engaging, and leading the conversation around the digitization of financial markets, and Project Lithium represents the next major step in our exploration of DLT, tokenization, and other emerging technologies. Interesting. All of this is actually interesting. When we actually look at the overall price valuation here, the market valuations of DTCC's overall transactions is substantial. Their subsidiaries process securities transactions valued at nearly $2.4 quadrillion. Its depository provides custody and asset services for securities issues from 177 countries and territories valued at $87.1 trillion. This is huge. This is massive. And them utilizing DLT also solidifies where we are actually positioned at right now in this market. And there's a few names tied to this as well. Accenture, with initial funding from Accenture, DDP is facilitating a series of retail and wholesale pilots to evaluate how central bank issued currency might work across U.S. financial infrastructure and the American social landscape. Yeah, this is very exciting. All of this is centered on everything that we have been, focused on this channel for well over a year now. And also, not only that, but this is directly tied to Ripple. I mean, like when you actually look going back to September 2nd. Now, obviously, yes, Ripple, is participating in the Digital Dollar Project's, CBDC Sandbox program here. They were one of a few that were actually assigned to this. In fact, up here we actually do see a little bit of, announcement of this. The fintech firm Ripple is among the 4 participants that are expected to help the Digital Dollar Project explore technical and business implementation questions. All of this is centered on, in my opinion, settlement. So why? I mean, if you actually think about this. So first off, I want to talk to you guys real quick about one thing real quick before we move forward on this, because I know that I'm kind of getting off track here, but I do want to mention a few things. So first off, it is centered on settlement, but it is also mentioning CBDCs. It's focused on CBDCs and the big moves around them. And again, when we talk about the solutions here from the crypto side of things, why would they not choose Ripple to be a main player here with XRP? First off, central bank digital currency solutions, the Republic of Palau, right? The Bhutan as well. All of these two, right? These two have been centered on the XRP ledger. But there's other major areas around the world that are exploring CBDCs. But we do know that the XRP ledger for issuance of CBDCs on the private ledger base point has already been the trust layer for them currently. There's a lot of proven facts around this on how efficient they are as central bank digital currencies utilizing the XRP ledger, but also having settlement. That settlement opportunity to on-demand liquidity with XRP is also a big win. Like, I cannot explain to you guys how big of a win that actually is. But I can tell you right now, you are seeing how big of a focus it is from something like the DTCC, which is transacting $2.4 quadrillion a year. This is huge. And do not underwrite what the digital dollar is doing. The digital dollar foundation, or project, if you will. Because they are moving very fast on the planning stages behind this. Focusing on, what they are trying to really kind of accomplish here is all centered around settlement, especially within the US CBDC, if you will. So I think that this is very interesting. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As it's up to you all, have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.